So, both Richter and Amarius are gonna try and get the most rest they can right now, which leaves Bell and Torin to kind of, get the attention of the guards and do your little plan to chat them up essentially. Bell, how do you want to go about that?
In Beast Tongue, actually, can I, like, perception check to see if any of them are, like, kind of looking, like, showing any sort of admiration or anything like that?
That's an insight.
Sure.
Sure. Yeah, there actually is the person guarding you right now is a smaller Minotaur. Some of the Minotaur in this camp are mountain Minotaur who can get up to 12 feet tall. This is a smaller one who you vaguely you seem to recognize them vaguely. Maybe one times you were out about and you saw them, because this community was not always like this. They were nomads that roamed around here. And you vaguely seem to recognize them. They seem a little mixed up inside about all this. You know, they're keeping away from the violence, keeping an eye on you. They've got particularly, like, I say it's a spear, but like the actual blade of the spear is so much larger and more brutal. And they're just kind of fiddling with it, carving into the side of it with a knife. Sort of checking on you a bit.
I would catch his eye and hold up my playing cards at him.
Shouldn't do that.
Shouldn't, but want to.
Kind of looks at the rest of the camp. People aren't so much paying attention, of course. Well, what does it matter? I suppose a game won't hurt. And kind of walks up in the mud and slushy snow up to you and like pulls the just chunk of wood he was sitting on over.
I stick my hands through the cage and start just like shuffling. Offer him a cut.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why do you guys follow her?
Offered us control of the valley. Easy food, easy pickings.
I killed a lot of your friends. And it wouldn't have to come to that if we could just exist harmoniously. That's what we're working for. You'd have easy food. You'd have friends.
Not everyone in the clan agrees with the way of the clan. But now, with a dragon checking in, she takes some of us away to her forest, to across the hills. They come back broken.
There's enough of you to rise up against her easily. And with us at your backs, our village at your backs,
our people would rather bow to the power than turn against it. She's like a goddess. Why, even our old priest has turned to worshipping her. And the miracles that he performs. We can't deny that. We can't deny this. And even if I would want to leave, I would be cut down.
Would a benevolent goddess try to poison you with a sick human?
Never said she was benevolent. I think a lot of them respect the ferocity, the raw power of a creature that strong. I don't think a lot of the people here are thinking about years from now. They're thinking about now and what they can get now.
Smart when following a dragon to think of the now. Because there likely won't be a years from now. Do you follow? Gather your men. Gather your men that don't agree with the ways of the clan. Start planning, because you're going to need to. She will double-cross you. She will kill more of you than I did. And I'll, like, kind of cheeky smile at him.
You can give me a persuasion roll.
Okay.
You kind of expected him to say something in return, but he just stands. Kind of. He hands the cards in his hand back to you, which is a good sign. And walks away. He kind of kicks the stump he was sitting on, slides it back across the mud, and walks away.
As he's walking away, I'm gonna be like, wait, your name?
They call me Iron Mark.
Iron Mark. If I have to kill you, I'll make it quick. And a friendly smile.
And he heads towards the if you imagine a camp almost like a upside down exclamation mark. On the slope up of the cliff, there's much more of a sparser camp, lots more tents and even open places where the Minotaur are sleeping and stuff. And he heads down that way, far out of sight. But you feel like you got through to him pretty well. Not that that's going to do anything now, but start building something, maybe.
We're definitely going to have to sneak out of here tonight. But the future's looking bright, gentlemen. Not all of the Minotaur are favor Malakesh and her plans.
Okay.
Well, like I said, you better hope that someone's on our side when it comes to the sneaking part. He adjusts his position, sitting in the cage slightly, and there's a jingle of chainmail.
I feel lucky.
So does your cat.
This is when you allow night to start falling. The fire continues to burn, so it never gets that dark where you are. There's always this deep red glow of the fire pit. But at some point, turns to a bright green. As Iron Mark said, there seems to be, for lack of a better term, a draconic priest. Priest of their community who's turned to worshipping this dragon, who throws something into the fire and it erupts a great and brilliant green. Something that Tauren wouldn't actually be very impressed with, because it's the kind of thing that, is possible. But of course, it enraptures a lot of them. This Minotaur is one of the larger ones, is a mountain Minotaur. Very big person. Their hair is long and dyed green and seems to have almost stapled a chunk of green dragon scale to their face. Maybe it's shed from the dragon at some point. and is kind of leading them around with a quarterstaff mace kind of hybrid, you know, almost like a long mace, rapturing people up into what, you know, kind of war chants and things like that. Seems to have a lot of control. But that dissipates as well, and as you wait until it gets really, really late, really dark, enough time for Amaryllis to contact the flow, the camp is mostly asleep. There are still guards, of course. Some of the guards, bigger and stronger Minotaur. One of them, the big and strong ones, is on the other side of the fire pit, kind of throwing rocks into it. Of course, this is a long way and it's dark, so the view that he has of you is not that good. Richter, can you give me a Constitution saving throw to try and recover a point of exhaustion? If you do recover it, this will increase your speed back to normal, which is very important when trying to sneak out of somewhere.
A con save.
Yeah. Yeah. That is good enough for you to go down, to restore a point to restore your of exhaustion to put your speed back to normal. It doesn't restore both, so you still have disadvantage on all ability checks, including their stealth check. But it's not going to have you slowed down.
Have disadvantage anyway. Fighter.
So, first, you need to break out of these cages. Now, like I said, they are rusty and not very well made. The locking mechanisms on them are very simple. If Belle wants to try and, you know, lockpick out with a sleight of hand, that's absolutely a-okay.
Before Belle does that, can I... so I've got fog cloud, and my thought is, rather than just generating a very obvious cloud of fog, what I would like to do is, over the course of a few minutes, maybe sort of, maybe even like sort of 20 minutes, half an hour, I just want to sort of raise fog in the area to sort of, so the equivalent of sort of the fact like a frog won't jump out of a pan that's gradually brought to boil, so the Minotaurs don't notice the fog covering us a bit.
Sure, I am totally okay with that.
It's a strange analogy.
Well, it's a similar concept.
It's a very good way of describing it, to be fair.
It's appropriate. I've never boiled the fog.
Slowly, and it also works because there is this kind of mist around. There is the smoke of the fire. It's a very smoky fire. So it does all kind of combine together to make it hard to see what the lot of you are doing over here.
Also, before I break out of the locks, I would use oil from my lantern to de-squeakify any hinges or locks.
Good idea.
And I have thieves' tools.
Thieves' tools instead, then. Yeah.
So, do I just click on it? I've never had to do this before.
You set it to be Dex, and then you just click it.
Okay. Well.
Oh.
That sucks.
I'm getting ready for the Minotaur coming across.
Yeah,
I can just hear that Oblivion
lockpick noise. There's a
Wait, I just oiled them. Can I have advantage for oiling the locks?
No. But
I mean, what's the point of doing it?
Lower
because it would have changed the situation, but you got a natural one. The lockpick does break. You've got a lot more in this set of thieves' tools. But it does make just a sharp, uncomfortable noise that draws the attention. You actually hear in Beast Tongue from outside of the fog, like, "What do you mean no one's with the prisoners? A dragon will surely devour us if they are allowed to escape. Get some eyes on them." And you can hear someone coming closer, but you still got a bit of time. If you want to give me another check and squeeze out before what this has done is lowered your timer, essentially.
Fuck's sake.
These are shitty locks. A 10 is good enough, and you oiled them up. That gets you out.
Jesus Christ, kitten.
Unfortunately, you don't think that you're going to be able to break everyone out before this Minotaur goes to check on you.
Can I see the Minotaur?
Yeah, at this point, you can see the silhouette of it just kind of lumbering over, checking. It's kind of like scratching at its face, picking at its nose, you know.
Go to sleep! Jedi mind trick!
22 is exactly the HP I gave to the lesser Minotaurs. So as this guy's going, it's like, yeah, of course I'll check on them. Just collapses into the mud, falls backwards. The wet splat. He goes backwards. He's good. He's not going to drown in the mud. Non-lethal playthrough.
Yeah, I would say very quietly to Belle, that will last a minute. Be quick. And
Should I get the key off of him?
He might not have it. Get to the other two. And as I'm saying this, I'm getting the oil of slipperiness out that I was given, and I'm sort of want to use that to try and squeeze out.
You're going to varnish yourself, lacquer the tree. Please do give me an acrobatics check with advantage. With that, and you can give me a lock-picking Thieves' Tools check to try and break the other two out.
It's like loads of snaps. It's like just branches come off.
That's literally it. Like,
yeah,
the branches snap and move, but you do manage to squeeze yourself out through one of the larger holes in this cage. It takes a bit of time and it's not comfortable, but you do so. Which is convenient because these are not conventional locks, Belle. You know, if this was a real lock made well, it would be almost easier to pick, but because of how awkwardly shaped the metal is and things like that, it takes a bit longer for you to work them out, but you do manage to snap both of these free. The snoring of the Minotaur on the ground is getting louder as the amount of time you have left on that spell gets lower. Can you please give me stealth checks to get the hell out of here? Disadvantage for Richter and Torin.
What the fuck?
No, my natural 20.
Oh,
I'm going to get a 17. I'm going to get a 17. I'm lying, it's 15, but it's close.
Father, why have you forsaken me?
I would say Amaryllis would, even though she's actually the quietest and stealthiest here, she would be hanging towards the back of the group. She would be after everyone else.
So, in this situation, actually, Amaryllis, you kind of blend in with your surroundings, the wooden palisades around, while the rest of them try to get out. But unfortunately, trying to move quietly in just this thick mud, you take the first few steps, and when you get off the kind of wooden boarding that have been put down, just loud, wet noises that lock your foot in place. You have to lurch and move, and it slows you down so much. You see that Minotaur. Now, luckily, you are encompassed inside the fog cloud that Amaryllis cast. From outside, no one... Maybe people would have heard, but they're not paying attention. This one Minotaur who came down for the guard, wakes up and pulls himself up and says, What happened? And kind of fumbles his way around the cloud and is going to make a perception check with disadvantage. And rolls a 1. With disadvantage. Which... Like, he fumbles around in this cloud. Like, there's smoke! Belle, he, like, fumbles so close to, like, the back of your head. Like, you can feel him brush up against your head, but he doesn't seem to notice. And you all, like, just freeze as he fumbles around. Then he goes over back to check to the cages. Giving you another moment. Stealth checks. Richter, you don't need to. You managed to get over to, past the palisades quickly.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my fucking god.
Wow! Again, even though I'm high, I'm staying towards the back.
Even though you're high.
Yeah, even though I'm high. I'm high on the fog cloud, you see.
Classic Ian. That's where the fog cloud came from.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's at that point when you're trying to move outwards that you hear in loud beast tongue. To those who do not understand it, it's just this loud guttural roar.
Actually, I do speak beast.
Good to know
The
this
more
now.
you know. The more you know.
They're out of the cages! And like he clatters the metal of the cage to get people's attention. And you can hear the camp starting to rustle and raise as the camp starts to wake up. Now what you can do now is disregard all stealth and just run for it. And that's athletics
the plan.
checks. Athletics checks. Richter, you still have disadvantage on this. But you are actually further ahead from everyone else.
I can't argue for acrobatics here, can I?
If you want to try and vault, so it's you're on a cliff edge, but it's kind of slopes down naturally. You could try and like vault to the boat or into the water with acrobatics. I will actually totally allow that.
Cool.
Rather than running with them, because I got a good stealth roll and hung back in the cloud.
Yeah.
I would like to stay in the cloud, and then as the Minotaur begin to charge after the group, I want to basically be sort of like guerrilla warfare tactics, firing arrows at them and sort of trying to confuse them as if there's an attack.
Okay, that'll give them disadvantage. That is a good idea. I'll just do one for the herd.
Cartwheel?
Okay. When it comes to a lot of you, Richter, you were, already down out of the camp. You just started to move into a exhausted sprint.
Terminator
Your lungs feel like you're on fire. Yeah, but it's just you got to keep on pumping the muscles and moving. What's Bell? Exactly as I said. You like. I'm not gonna be able to outrun them. You dive into the water. It hurts like hell diving from such a height, but you manage to get to the boat just about the same time Richter does. Torin, you just can't, you're stuck in the mud. You're trying to move, your armor's weighing you down, you're starting to get exhausted from all of this, you're starting to stress out and make you kind of just function worse. That's when you see the arrows fire from the dark, from the fog, at the Minotaur who are charging towards you, which distracts a lot of them, but one Minotaur, the Dragon Priest, in fact, throws his weapon down and just grabs you by the arm, Torin, and in common, just look what we have here.
Firing it out the back of his head.
Please do. Give me a roll for that.
Please don't fail me now, Lark.
That's gonna be a hit! Please roll damage.
Not much damage, but it's an arrow in the back of his
It's not
head.
for the damage, It's an arrow
Yeah.
that kind of glances off the back of the head, it kind of scrapes the flesh and bounces off the horn and just... he is going to very quickly weave a spell. Giving me a moment.
In the time that's taken, and Richter has noticed Torin hasn't caught up.
Yeah.
Is Richter able to do anything? Is he able to get back to there in time?
If you want to try and fight, you can start moving back up, yeah.
Can I cast a spell as he casts a spell?
That's an initiative roll, my friend.
It's not on him, but yes.
I'll definitely
Yeah,
get
just
back.
to see who goes first.
I would stop you. I would try to stop you.
Okay. Contested grapple or something?
Yeah, contested athletics.
If you would pull away from me as I was saying, no, at least one of us needs to make it home. If
She's
not
like
two,
slapping him like, you hypocrite, Richter.
Torin, you get a 5, he gets a 1.
Here we go. Richter. Jesus, I can't separate us in my mind.
Yeah, man.
Oh dear. Interestingly, so let's do that. Full strength.
Oh, how appropriate.
And where are we in location? We're still.
You are
through
at
here?
the entrance, the mouth of some of these palisades, right? Which is, a 10, 15 foot opening with the hill down towards the boat. You can see right now this is when that kind of, no, don't go discussion is happening down there. Amaryllis is firing arrows at the dragon priest.
Taran would like to take a shove action on the dragon priest.
You did just use your action, so he's gonna take his.
Yeah, that's fine.
As he's kind of looking away. He didn't see you cast that spell. He's looking into the fog to try and see Amaryllis and doesn't, and mutters out a word in beast tongue and moves and shifts his hands. Can you please give me a charisma save,
My
Mr.
lord.
Torin?
With Balara doing that, I want to get
I'm
away from
rolling.
Balara and help Torrent.
Really
Okay,
badly.
you can just start roll. Give me an initiative.
Okay. I'll yell, "He's too important," as I tug away from her.
Okay. You cast that strength and go to pull away. He still has his big Minotaur hand around you, and you feel your arms being snapped and bound together. This emerald green band of light binding your hands together, restricting your movement of your arms, not your legs, but your arms.
I realised as soon as that was a charisma save.
Yeah.
Richter, it would take both your movements to charge up here, but you want to charge up and make yourself very visible while you're doing so.
Yeah.
Next is your turn, Torin. This is not the right music.
So his arms are snapped together, if I remember this spell
Yeah, your
correctly.
arms are kind of snapped together behind your back would make sense because he kind of had your arm when you're trying to pull away.
This Minotaur is a male priest.
Yes.
Oh god,
I'm going to kick him in the balls.
I will allow it. It will be
That's
a disadvantage.
I'm shoving his balls 5
It will be
feet
a
upwards.
disadvantage, but I will allow it.
In the balls.
So it flattens out because it's in the balls. I'm just rolling 7s.
Don't you have advantage because of the?
Nah,
No,
evens
'cause it's
out
at
disadvantage
disadvantage.
because
Oh,
he's
sorry, I
bound.
wasn't. Yeah, sorry, I wasn't listening.
Has he still got a grapple on me?
No, because he cast a spell instead. He isn't really holding you. He just kind of let go of that. Too.
Peace.
So you're bound. So you want to
Peace.
just run and take an opportunity attack from the dude?
Yeah. What's
Yeah,
he
you
gonna
kick
do?
him. You kick him in the balls, and like it connects. The Minotaur doesn't really react. He's turned towards Amaryllis, but then you do that, and he's like, "Ah!" And you're like, "Oh no, oh no!" Start running towards Richter. He's going to make an opportunity attack against you, which does hit. It's going to deal 8 bludgeoning damage against you. So he just swings with this kind of combined great mace staff that's coated in all kinds of bones and things. Swinging and cutting against you. And that's just his opportunity attack.
How much, sorry, was that?
8.
8. Okay, cool.
I don't know. Do you want me on initiative roll? 'Cause I'm
Please,
still
I was going to say,
firing arrows.
please do one right now. Please do one.
Where's my initiative tracker?
There's not many, so I'm doing it in my brain.
Okay, cool. That's fine.
Okay, so Amaryllis, because you would have done it already, please give me an arrow shoot.
An arrow shoot, indeed. Well, that one goes wild.
Yeah.
Hopefully, still a decent distraction, but
It's still a distraction, right? That's
Yeah.
the plot. That's the concept. What would this guy do?
Can I shoot them from where I'm at?
Please give me an initiative roll.
And so Lisa comes to the dragon. The struggle continues.
Sorry, I mean, she wouldn't
No,
just sit there
it's
and do
fine.
nothing.
Yeah, absolutely. But we'll let you start on the next turn.
Yeah, of course.
He. So what you're really doing, Amaryllis, right now is you're kicking the other Minotaur from the fight. The other Minotaur, and the Dragon Priest does turn and yells like, "They've got someone in the smoke!" And does kind of flank them towards it. He is going to take from around him. There's many little flasks are made of leather and water skin sort of treated material, and he just downs one of these while I look for the right book I need.
Yeah. My little cat is so cute. She's just snoozing.
You're gonna be snoozing soon. Downs this liquid and like, and continues doing that, and then you can smell emanating from him a sickly sweet poisonous smell, and he launches out poisonous dragon breath from his mouth towards you two, Torin and Richter. Please both give me a dexterity saving throw.
Da 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 da.
Da, 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 da.
I can take it. It's fine.
I can take it. There's kind of a coughing and a spluttering from him as he does this. It doesn't, like, and you're going downhill. You manage to kind of duck between the natural jagged rocks of this environment and move very quickly. Even Torin, who takes the full brunt of this, you only take 7 poison damage. Richter is going to take half of that, down to 3. So please, Belle, it's clear that this battle is happening, although they're getting away. You know, it would be very hard with all of this going on to actually take this guy out, but it's all about distraction and weakening the situation.
All right. I would shoot whichever one is closest to them.
That would be him, yeah. All the others are kind of trying to find Amaryllis in the fog cloud and failing. That is exactly a hit.
Okay, great. And he's adjacent to them, yes?
No.
Okay.
Torin ran.
All right.
Just a solid 9er. Cool. Next is Amaryllis. At this point, you can tell that they're getting away. Do you want to stay in the fog cloud and continue to cause chaos, or do you want to try and slink away?
I will shout in, like, try to sort of make as echoing and a haunting voice as possible, so they maybe have a little bit more trouble locating me. I'll just shout, "Go!" and fire one last arrow at the priest before beginning to slink off. But
Cool.
They're hunting a tree in a forest.
yeah,
Those fools.
That is not a hit, but again, just another distraction.
yeah.
What about Bless?
Unfortunately, I don't have bless.
Richter, at this point, you know, you and Torin are 60 feet away from the boat. So just one dash action away from the boat. This dragon priest is clearly going to try and chase and attack in the best of his wills.
Am I in melee of the priest?
No, you'd have to run forward to be in melee with him. He did kind of run, you know, another few feet forward. But he's still... It's of note, his mouth is still frothing and bubbling with poison. There's more dragon breath in there.
Let's charge forward and spear him in the gut.
Okay. It is a hit.
I'm going to make that a menacing attack
Okay.
as well.
Good idea.
So
And then run away.
8. 15 damage, and he's frightened.
Well, he has to make a save against
Oh,
your
yeah,
check
yeah,
to
sorry,
see if he's frightened. He fails, so he is frightened of that. This spear jab, like, nearly goes right through. It's one of those things you see him just, like, pause and, like, take a breath, and blood joins that poisonous
He's like,
bubbling
that's my
froth
potion.
as he kind of looks down. It's one of those things you cause such a grievous wound that it just makes, like, you could imagine he's going lightheaded, woozy in that moment. It's less that you've terrified him, more that, you know, he's just unable to follow you in this moment. Are you then gonna back up to join Torin again? You've got the movement.
Is he looking pretty fucked up?
He's looking like he's got a lot of fight left in him. He's a mountain minotaur, the largest, toughest type. That staggered him significantly. He's not going to be able to chase you, because that's how fear works, until he passes this, until his next turn, which means you have the chance to get to the boat. Everyone but Amaryllis, because Amaryllis is going to have to go a longer way.
But Amaryllis did just shout at you to go.
Exactly. So, you're going to...
I'm going.
Okay, Torin, you going to sprint to the boat?
Can I take a dash action?
Yeah, to get to the boat.
Cool. Then yeah.
Yeah. Join Bell at the boat. This guy is going.
Oh, is this concentration, by the way?
No.
Oh,
You're just
Jesus,
bound. You're just running with your
okay.
hands bound behind your back. Yeah. But it, mechanically, it is not the be all end all.
Can't take actions, mate. That's OP.
Yeah. Oh, at the end of your turn, you make another charisma check to see if you can free it. So
Okay,
what
cool.
you do is make one now. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is going to be a failure. So, still bound for now. This guy cannot move forward. He's staggered, holds the bloody wound that as you tore away, Richter just grew more and more menacing and brutal. He is going to spit at you again, Richter. You're just on the edge of the range for this attack, so please give me another dex save, but that's all he can do. And Torin is no longer in range of that. That is going to be a failure. Which is a shame, because this time he managed to muster even more power from that attack. As a mixture of a spittle of blood along with the poison that maybe even empowers the spell with the in particular cruel type of magic that it is. It's going to do 16 poison damage to you. But the Minotaur cannot continue chasing you forward. He actually kind of falls to one knee, gripping the wound. Belly, Torin has got to safely on the boat. Are you going to try and shoot this guy again?
Yeah. Unless I need to ready the boat. Does the boat need to be readied in any way?
It's going to need an athletics check from someone to get it into the water.
Yeah, that's going to have to be Richter. I'm useless.
It's more efficient for you to try and damage this guy more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Go ahead. It's a hit.
Nice.
Okay. Amaryllis. I believe it would be a stealth check to try and get away from these guys at this point. To slink away into the shadows and kind of get away from the camp a slower, quieter way.
I've rolled.
Try and do
I've got nothing else, and I'm not trying to outrun these things. I rolled 2 good stealth checks. Can I make it through?
Just picturing all the Minotaurs, they're like, after the tree! And then, what about that one? It's just a tree!
We'll see you. You managed to start slinking and moving between where there's a break in the palisades, because you still have the oil of slipperiness on you. So you could, like, eke through gaps that wouldn't usually be possible. Out of the protection of fog cloud, with only the plains and the occasional forests. Richter, you gonna sprint to the boat?
Yep.
You don't have any more actions to ready the boat now unless you want to action surge and do that.
Action surge.
Action surge, athletics check, still disadvantage. That is enough. You get onto the boat, you like slam onto your side, bring up enough strength and kick the rock they kind of perch the boat up against, and it kind of brings in the shaly, pebbly stone as the boat just launches back into the water, and you guys need to start immediately rowing. But you do so, immediately rowing to keep on going. You see up there, the other Minotaur kind of start amassing near this dragon priest who's clearly injured, and he pulls himself up and just roars out into the air, blowing more of that dragon breath just into the sky as a kind of a sign of intimidation and power. Amaryllis, you seem to have got away scot-free. While you're going to have to take a significantly longer route, and you know you're probably not going to catch up with the boat on foot, you are away free. You're going to be able to get your way back to Cornucopia yourself.
At this point, yeah, I'm not even going to attempt to meet up with the boat. I'm just making my way back to the village.
Okay. All right. With that, you can all take a breath as you get away from the Minotaur camp.
Only slightly spicy.
Only slightly. I used everything I had.
Lots of good tricks. Lots of tricks, lots of moves. It's a slower way back up the river. You're injured. Your adrenaline wears off quite swiftly, but you aren't being chased by the Minotaur. The thing you were kind of worried about. They do not seem to be pursuing you. It takes time to get back up the rapids. It takes time to get back to Cornucopia, but you do so. Boat intact, all of you intact. Well after, it's gone nighttime. Cornucopia it's almost hard to see because by now the fires inside the lodge would have been let to burn low. But you're back. You can pull the boat back onto shore. What's the plan?
Well, that went well.
We need to wait for Amaryllis to get here, and then we need to move the village. The whole village.
It's not such an easy thing to do.
It's the only thing we can do. Unless you'd like to face Malakesh again.
Well, maybe I'd like one of your plans that doesn't require me to get blasted. I told you, I can't hide.
We're here. It worked. Would you rather we stayed in our cages? Torin, think.
Yeah,
that was the only thing we could do. And now the only thing we can do is move our loved ones. That's the only thing we can do.
Belle, you need to calm down. Look,
you need to be grateful.
I am grateful to Richter. He saved my life. If he hadn't ran in there, I'd be dead. All right?
She saved mine, so...
And I'm not trying to point the finger.
Shut up.
I'm just saying, next time we have a plan, maybe we can allow for me not being as gifted as you guys. I can't do the stuff that you can.
It was the only thing we could do. It was our only choice, Torin.
Yeah.
You had plenty of time to offer up an alternative plan.
There is a loud clearing of a throat. Oscar walking up to the lot of you in the dark, holding a torch, kind of looking over you. What's all this about? You're going to wake the whole village. I'm glad that you're back, but you're clearly injured, and clearly
Malakesh.
Emotions are high.
Malakesh found us, took us to the Lion Bull camp, I think. Put us in cages. We lost Amaryllis. She got us away with the help of Balara as well. We think, well, it's inevitable, isn't it, that they're going to come for Cornucopia.
I'm not so sure, but it could happen, son. We're gonna need to build walls before the winter strikes strong. But then, you'd be too young to remember this town. But in winter, we can defend ourselves. It's happened before against rogue marauders.
I don't doubt that we could give the Minotaurs a good run for our money. But if the dragon does decide to turn up,
Oscar, I was thinking catapults, maybe.
A catapult against a dragon might be a logical choice. But I think we're going to need to put all of our manpower towards building walls. Stone, wood, snow. Everything we can. If the Minotaur will attack, then they will attack. We're going to need to defend everything we have. A war may even be useful against a dragon. In the time you've been gone, we've been able to clear some ways into those caves. Torin, you suggested making a shelter there.
I think that there would be livable for the vast majority of the village if we cleared out enough space. We're talking about raising a crop. It would certainly be warmer than outside. We're not entirely sure what lingers still in the depths, but I'd be. Dean's poster just fell off as well. It's pretty terrifying. I would be. It seems safe in there.
Look, you're all hurt. You're clearly rattled. I saw this many times before when I was a mercenary. You've gone through something and just barely survived. Right now, we all need to head home. You all need to rest. I will start rallying the village. We'll build walls. And prepare. And then you will delve further into the ruins under Cornucopia so that we can secure a safer place. You're right, we don't know what's in there. But we can find out. And I have all the faith in the spirits. But you will have the power to secure safety. Do I hear any objections?
None.
No, sir.
Good. Get yourselves to bed.
Oscar, there's more that I would discuss with you if you'd linger, perhaps. And she sheepishly indicates the keg. Help me get this to my father.
Yeah. A wall of a different kind. I kind of blow out the torch and put it down, and you don't often see feats of strength from Oscar because he is an old man. You see him fight, but that's a very different sort of thing. But him getting down and lifting this keg and shouldering it is pretty impressive, and will help you bring that to Griff.
I think Balara would really like that. Would really like making him feel useful for her.
Yeah. And you all can take
Don't fuck my dad. Just don't do it.
I will not. No, she looks at him like a father figure.
What about your mum, though, Dean?
And as she would get him to hang back while the other three are making their way, and she would tell him about Richter falling ill and about the civil unrest that she stirred among the Minotaur, and about the one Minotaur that they met and how he's offered aid to the village.
Yeah. He'll listen to all this. He'll kind of rest outside of Griff's workshop, listening to all of this as the night grows long. Rarely sort of talking back, just listening. That's good. If the Minotaur do attack, then they'll have less number. A doubt in a force as big as that will be very useful. I don't know if those Minotaur will attack. We've lived here a long time. When the snows will be fierce, even those Minotaur will have difficulty with it. Especially without their priests, who could control the snows before.
They have a very powerful dragon priest, and they want complete control of the valley. I think it's more serious than it once was.
I have no doubt of that. It'll be hard work, but It'll bring everyone together. We'll build a wall and we'll focus on the east side of the valley first, where they'll attack from. Then the river. Then the west. It'll be possible. It'll be doable. We'll have to cut down some of those forests that you hold so dear, Belle.
Trees can be regrown.
Oof, that's callous after losing Amaryllis.
What of Amaryllis? She's not with you.
That's one
Yeah, I
tree
said
that
trees
won't
can be
regrow.
regrown.
Balara will get kind of misty and she'll be like, I don't know.
Misty. I'll mute my mic.
I don't pretend to understand this world, but I definitely do not understand that creature Amaryllis. There are surprises within her and about her. I wouldn't be surprised if she waltzes into the village tomorrow like nothing ever happened.
I hope. I may scout for her in the morning. I didn't
In the
take as
morning,
much damage as the others.
You will sleep until the sun rises.
Aye.
Rest. He'll like pat you on the shoulder and then do like a little, fatherly squeeze on the shoulder, and then start walking off towards the lodge to gather support.
I want to offer Torrin to come back to my home to talk if he wants.
Oh yeah, Torrin would. Torrin's semi-limping. He's taken his helmet off and he's dejectedly semi-limping his way back towards Lahers actually. When you'd offer that, and he'd turn around, give you a sort of sad smile, and then just nod.
Okay.
All right. So when we get inside, I'd let the silence ruminate for a couple of moments, and then I'd be like, I don't like Balara. I don't hide that fact. But she saved all of us. All of us. She did.
I don't disagree.
So we don't.
It's not the plan that I had a problem with. It's when I said I wouldn't be able to do it, she said, well, run faster. She knows that I'm not good at that. And I tried, I did. And I couldn't keep up. And I nearly got more of you hurt. I can't do what you can. Or what Belle can. And I want to help in my own way.
I haven't kept count, but I think I'd be dead 3 times over if it weren't for you. You help. That's why I came back. You are the future of Cornucopia. I have no doubt about that now. You heal wounds with fucking wind, Torrin.
I don't do that. That's Eirik.
Okay, fine.
She's my friend. I just wish she'd cared a bit more, that's all. Maybe I was overreacting.
Yes, you were. If she didn't care enough, she wouldn't have done it. We all know the risks.
Yeah. Sorry, Richter.
Until the fight is over, soldiers work together.
Yeah.
Now we rest up and we go and find Amaryllis in the morning.
Yeah. I'll pray for her tonight.
We need her too. You should go apologize to her, preferably tonight.
I'll do it in the morning when I'm feeling a bit better.
Okay.
Good night, Richter.
Good night, Torin.
All right. And there, we're going to take a little break. We'll do as we often do at the moment, a little half session at the end to wrap something up. So we'll take a real quick break and then be back for like another half an hour or so for the exciting conclusion. Be back in a moment.